Welcome back. Well, I have Jeff Parker here who's going to talk about some COVID numbers as well as some other information. Well, welcome. Friday. Yay!
Good morning to you and happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. So yeah, in regards to COVID numbers, we actually went on the site today and found that there's going to be some good news.
Yeah. So with the county, and mentioned before, they are under the state program where it's now a color-coded tiered system. And what we saw this morning in the reporting, as you see up there, is we went to, I'll call it the yellow or gold color. That's now the moderate tier 3.
Right.
We were informed that this was like the last week of the red color, and based on their numbers, they would be going to the gold color as of next week. If you see up there, it says current tier is still the red tier.
Oh yeah, it does still say that.
But I think the reason why they've gone that is that the expectation is next week, if the numbers stay where they're at today and tomorrow and over the weekend, they will then drop down into the moderate tier. So that's really good news.
That is great.
What that does is allow some additional opening ups in the private sector with regards to retail and commercial. I think they can include maybe a little bit higher percentage of people that can go into the operations. So that's kind of nice.
No, and that's good. I mean, it's always nice to know that things are moving in the right direction, in a positive direction, so that'll help all of our residents to be able to do some additional things.
Exactly. The positivity rate there at 3.1% is really, really good, and that's we've seen that steady decline since July when it was really high. So they do focus a lot on that left-hand column, that 3.6. That's those cases of 100,000. So again, if we stay at 3.6 next week, I think you'll see us move into that moderate level, so that's really good news. Unfortunately, yesterday it was reported that we had 6 additional deaths in Orange County, but one of the things that I noted in here, which I think is, again, balancing this good news, is that there's only 42 ICU cases right now. And if you remember when we used to talk 70, 90, even in the hundreds.
Yeah.
So having that low a number in the ICU is great for a couple of reasons. One, it seems like the cases are lowering. And secondly, obviously the capacity we know our hospitals in Orange County have, that assures the residents if they do have it and they need that care, they're going to get it in Orange County. So that's really good.
Right, and unfortunately the number 6 that we're seeing is most likely folks who have been on the respirators for quite some time. I mean, 30 to 45 days.
That's true.
So
that's true.
That's if you get to that point, you just don't know how you're going to get off that respirator. And again, usually it's people who have some sort of comorbidity. So got to still be careful.
Exactly.
Still be careful, especially if you're within that age range.
Right, and we did note that we had one more case in Laguna Woods. Again, the community of Laguna Woods, not necessarily in the village, and our deaths are still at 5, so that's good. But one more case, so now we're back up to 50. We were at 50, if you recall, at one point in time, and then they did a recalculation, went down to 49, stayed at 49 for about 3 weeks.
Right.
And now we have one more case, so we're at 50. But that's
low.
Probably in the, I think there's only 2 or 3 other communities in all of Orange County that are as low as we are, so that's really good news.
Yeah, and most of our folks that, supervisor and assemblywomen, they come on and they're like, wow, our numbers are really low. So, and they're keeping a good eye on it too. So, all right, great. Well, what else do you have?
Well, one of the things that we've been working on in the last couple of weeks, and I also mentioned that we met with some of the residents, is that we are evaluating and moving forward, trying to open up some more outdoor activities. One of the areas is in the pool areas, so we're evaluating that, especially pool 4, where we know we're already operational there, but we want to expand the hours there. One of the challenges is getting enough lifeguards so that we can operate that. So we've been working with the lifeguard company to contractually get more people there, because obviously we have to have lifeguards there for the safety and protection of everybody. Right. So that's one of the things we're evaluating, and also evaluating, looking at pool 1, adding additional capacity to our system. The other thing that we're looking at is additional outdoor classes and finally, the big one that we're working on, and when I say working on it, it's just getting all of the details put in place and including some fencing, is that we're going to take some of our gym equipment and put it outside under cover, but outside, so that we can increase the activity, i.e. open the gym up in a way that people can come down and use the gym in a secure place, the equipment's secured, and that way we're still outside, which is a better environment, but they'll be able to get back to exercise programs there at some of the gym equipment over by Clubhouse 1.
Oh, okay, great. I was just going to ask you that. So by Clubhouse 1, okay.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention is this recreation staff's looking at some additional, I'll say activities that aren't necessarily exercise, but fun and enjoyable for the community, such as some additional concerts that we can have, movies like we did, and maybe even potentially working to look at seeing if we can get a comedian could come in and do a show type of thing, where we would, again, we could do it by car, such a scenario with our microphone system and everything, so we'd have the social distancing that we need, but it would provide additional activities for our community.
Yeah, I know. You guys are working really hard. Recreation's coming up with all sorts of good stuff. So we'll keep everybody apprised of all those things, but thank you for being with us today.
Yeah.
You have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. And later in our program, we will talk to you a little bit about some of the court hours and some of the things that are going on here. But stay tuned. After this break, we'll be back with Annie McCary.